Now in our next problem, we're told two triangles are congruent. I want to find the value of x and y. I'm going to start with x, which is angle T. I know angle T is my first letter. That's congruent to angle R. You go, well, how can I do that? That doesn't help me because I don't know angle R, but I do know angle R because angle R is an acute angle of my right triangle. So the measure of angle R is actually 90 minus 78. And 90 minus 78 is 12 degrees. So the measure of angle T is 12 degrees. I use the fact that my acute angles are complementary. Now I want to turn around and find y. Notice y is r to s. So r to s is congruent to t to v. And do I know t to v? Yes, I know. T to v is 24. So I'm going to say r to s, which is 2y minus 1, equals 24. And then I'll just do the algebra. I'll add 1 to both sides. 2y equals 25. Divide by 2. Y is 25 over 2. If you want to write that as 12.5, you certainly can, but I'm going to leave it as 12 over 2, or 25 over 2. We have our first theorem dealing with triangles here. Maybe not our first theorem, but one of our newer ones. It's called the third angle theorem. And what it says is this: if I have two angles that are congruent to each other in different triangles. So for example, look at this. Angle C is congruent to angle K, and angle J is congruent to angle B. What that tells me is my third angle has to be congruent because there's 180 degrees in a triangle. And if two of those angles are the same, I know what's left over has to be the same. When we look at our triangles, we have reflexive, that is, I know a triangle is congruent to itself. We have symmetric, that is, if triangle ABC is congruent to EFG, I can just write them in a different order. I can write EFG first. And I got transitive, says if I have two triangles that are congruent to the same triangle, I know those two triangles are congruent. So in the example I gave you, ABC is congruent to EFG, and EFG is congruent to JKL, so therefore ABC is congruent to JKL. Now let's take a look at a problem here. It says Aika, or Aika, I don't know how to pronounce that, is folding origami dragons for a party she's hosting. She knows angle ABD. I'm going to mark that down here. Bring that in here. So she knows angle ABD is congruent to angle CBD. So we know these two angles are congruent. We know angle BAD is 58 degrees. We're supposed to find angle CBD. So I want to find, let me mark that, C to B to D, which I know is the same as angle ABD. And since I got a right triangle here, to find the measure of angle ABD, I'm going to take 90 minus 58. And 90 minus 58, 10 minus 8 is 2, 8 is 32 degrees. And since ABD is congruent to CBD, I know the measure of angle CBD is 32 degrees. And there we have it, using your third angle theorem.